everybody. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. It is not morning, it is 3:40. And I am on my way to get coffee, and then I have to go to the bank, and then I have to go to the post office, and I've been dealing with this patio stuff. So I woke up to an email this morning from the president of the management company saying that they were going to get an estimate on my deck. So I emailed her back, or maybe that was last night. So I emailed her back and I said, I'm confused. They told me I was getting a new deck, which he did. And then she emailed me back and said she was confused. She talked to the president, and the next thing I know, I hear somebody out of my deck. You guys are like the summer saga of the deck. And then I'm like walking to my car, and this guy like stops me. Hold on a second. I have to order my coffee. I'm cold brew today, I think. Can I get a venti cold brew with 2 equal, please? Nope, that's it. So anyway, this guy was like super good looking, like built, had like these, like, I don't love the cargo shorts, but he had cargo shorts on with like these Birkenstock sandals, which I thought was kind of strange for like a contractor. And he had on like, he had this really long beard and then like a trucker hat. And I was like, and he was like, hey, you. And I was like, he goes, are you Peter? And I was like, yeah. So he was like, well, your deck really isn't that bad. And he went into this whole thing. He was like, the superficial part of it looks horrible. He was like, but he was like, the poles don't look bad. So he was like, there are and I go, okay, so just be honest with me so I'm not being an asshole. I go, do other people deserve to have a deck before me? And he goes, yeah. He's like, there's 2 or 3 decks that are really bad. They're like gonna fall down. And I was like, okay, then I will just stop fighting it. I don't need to be an asshole about this stuff, you know? And he was like, oh no, you're not being an asshole. He was like, you didn't know any better. He was really nice. But it doesn't help when they're good looking and they want your help, you know what I mean? I'm trying a different hat today. This is my Levi's hat that I had to have that I bought at Kohl's. It says, I was saved by rock and roll. Levi's. Not sponsored. I'm basically not sponsored by anybody. So anyway, oh, we did get the new bed. I shouldn't say that. We did get the new bed. So anyway, it's been a good day so far. I'm completely addicted. So if you like RuPaul's Drag Race, there is a show. It is on YouTube. Okay, I want to make that very, very clear because people keep on saying, I can't find it on Netflix. I can't find it on Netflix. It's on YouTube, and it's called Drag Showdown. Okay, and there's 2 seasons. The first season is completed. The second season is about halfway through. It's supposed to be like week 1, week 2, week 3, but it goes like, there's like months that go before it because I think the guy that's doing it is probably like 20 that puts it on, and his drag name is Crystal Ball, whose look is fantastic. I love his look. But then, it's like this amateur drag competition like RuPaul's Drag Race. I mean, it's almost identical to it. But it has to be cut and filmed from all of their, like, places where they live. Some of them are in high school and live at home with their parents, and they're in their bedroom. And some of them are coming out of bathrooms. Some of them are walking down dorm hallways. And it is so, like, it's so amateur that it's like very endearing. I don't know how to explain it other than that, but let me just tell you the shade that these queens throw at each other. Like, if you like the cattiness of RuPaul's Drag Race, you will love Drag Showdown. And let me tell you how I started it. So I watched the first episode of season 1, and then I went to go watch the queens being introduced on season 2. And they seemed like a little bit more up to date. So now I watched all of the episodes of season 2, which I think there's like, I have like watched I cannot say this about any other channel. I have watched, well, I mean a few, but I have watched every video that has been on this channel. And I'll link it below as well if I remember. But I I watched all the episodes of season 2, so now I'm back into season 1, and season 1 is better than season 2. Okay, I don't think these people love being on camera, so I'm gonna turn this off for a second. So anyway, of the show, I went back and I am watching. I just got my coffee and I am pulling out of Starbucks. Who is screaming? This guy is like in his car fixing his hair. It's like, you need a pick. Do people still use picks? I just spit. Do people still use picks? Do you remember those from back in the day? So anyway, I went back and I'm watching like season 1, and like the shade of season 1 is so much better than the shade of season 2. It's just like hilarious. But this is what's interesting to me, and I will say this. It's obvious to me that like the guy that is running it, the queen that's running it, may be like really good friends with some of these drag queens. And I won't say any names because they're younger. I don't want to hurt their feelings. Like, you know. But, because they do seem to get their feelings hurt rather quickly. But, there's like one queen on season 1, and I'm like, why did she make it past the first episode? Like, she's not any good. And she's not in, and she's now, we're 4 episodes in, and she's still there, and she still wears the same raggedy old. I mean, these other queens are doing like astronomical stuff, and she still wears this ratty old wig. She never tries to do anything out of the box. She's not creative at all. All she's creative with is her mouth, which she's bitching and constantly throwing shade. But she's not even good at it. It's not even cute or memorable. She just thinks she's really that good, you know? And I think she's like really good friends or something with like the person that's doing the show, because I can't imagine why else you would keep her around. And every week, this crystal ball is like, well, I really liked your look this week. I thought it was really beautiful. And I'm like, you did? It was basically like a sheet and some ratchet wig. So I'm like so into this show, more so than I ever got into RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm like, and I've watched every episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm like, what are you, like, I'm like yelling. And then she did a double elimination, and she kicked off this Porcelain Polly, I'm probably ruining it for you, whose lip sync was like the best lip sync I've seen on 2 seasons of this damn show. And she kicked her off and did a double elimination. Oh, this is the other thing that I love about it, right? Is that these queens, so what you realize after watching it for a while is, especially for old folk like me, is you realize there must be like message boards and texting and something going on behind the scenes, because they're constantly talking about the negativity, but like they're not in the same workroom, right? Like one of them's in like Australia and the other one's like in the UK and one's in like Boston and one's in Texas. So they're like, they must be talking through social media and shading each other or something, because they were constantly talking about the negativity. And literally like every 2 or 3 weeks, somebody pulls out of the competition. And I'm like, y'all are drag queens. I don't care how old you are. I mean, some of these kids in here are like 15 years old. And I'm like, y'all are drag queens and you can't handle the heat and you're pulling yourself out of the competition. Let me just tell you, the world of drag for your future, you are never gonna make it, okay? Like, drag queens are lippy. I was raised in the gay community by drag queens, and I'm so thankful for it. It gave me strong skin. And, anyway, it just cracks me up. But you guys should go watch this show, Drag Showdown. It's really cute. Okay, I gotta run into the bank now. Things are not starting off so well. So, I went to go get a fountain pop because I'm starting my diet tomorrow. I know, half of you are out there like, yeah, whatever. So I was like, well, I might as well get one last fountain pop. Then I left my wallet at home. I just sat outside and finished. I'm now driving home to get my wallet. I just sat outside and finally finished this book, The Last 5th Grade of Emerson Elementary by Laura Siobhan. And this book is fantastic. It is just... I cried at the end of this book. It is so endearing. It is about this 5th grade class. I've talked a lot about this on here before. And they're the last 5th grade because after they leave, they're going to bulldoze the school down and they're going to turn it into a supermarket because the neighborhood needs a supermarket. And so the teacher, who is retiring at the end of the year and used to be an old activist, is like puts together this time capsule with all of their poems in it that they're going to open in 25 years, and they're trying to save the school, and so it's the whole thing is told through poems, and it is just so sweet. And like the last 20 pages, I mean, you really get to know these kids. There's 18 kids in the class, and each one of them has like a little picture. Do you see? Can you see that? They have like a little picture and their name, and it's like the most diverse class. There's like a girl from Jerusalem, there's like a Japanese girl that's Jewish, there's like twins. I mean, there's a girl that's from Mexico that can't speak any English. I mean, there's a lesbian in it. They kind of suggest that she's a lesbian. I mean, it's 5th grade. But it is the most endearing book I have ever read. Like, well, that's a bunch of bullshit right there. No, it's not the best. It's not the most endearing book I've ever read. It's like a really sweet book for elementary school. You know, a lot of elementary school books are like mysteries, or I love those books like, you know, Help, I'm a Prisoner in the Library, or, you know, Witch's Water and all those. Okay, like this is like, if you have a very sweet, compassionate elementary school kid, this is a book to read with them, okay? It is really sweet, and like they have it divided into different quarters, and like, you know, 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, and then the school, how it ends. And so you kind of like feel it like building. And I was like, the last 20 pages, I was like, I was like, my mother would have loved this book, and it was so sweet. And but she would have, like, it would have been a book that we would have read together when I was in elementary school. And the teacher's just so cool. She's such a badass. But if you're an adult and you read this book, I'm just going to tell you, get prepared. It's going to make you cry. And it's so funny because, like, it was really reminding me of, like, who I was in elementary school. My cousin Caroline always jokes. She's like, you don't forget anything. Like, she's like, you have, like, the craziest memory, and I do. And so, but I was like, there's this part in there where the kid's like a patrol guard, like a crossing guard, and I was like a crossing guard, and I remember, like, the last day of school, I remember the last day of school. This thing never wants to open for me because I've needed a new battery for 6 months. There. Like, I helped everybody cross, everybody went home. I was a walker, and I lived like a mile from school. And so then, like, I went inside and I took my crossing guard thing to the principal's office, and everybody was gone from the school, and it was like dead. And I remember I walked around a little bit, and then I left. And I walked home, and my street would go down this long, like, the street went down this long street, and then, like, when I would hit my street, I just turned, and then we were on the cul-de-sac at the very end. And I remember when I hit my street, I just, like, started sobbing, and I, like, ran home, you know? And then, like, my mom, like, opened the door, and she's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, I'm never gonna go to Mohawk Trails Elementary again, Mom. Like, and she was like, she used to say to me, she'd say, you just felt things so strongly at such a young age, you know? Like, I always did. And so, yeah, very, very good book. Not the most endearing book I've ever read. That was really a pull, wasn't it? A stretch. A pull and a stretch. The Last 5th Grade of Emerson Elementary by Laura Siobhan. It's so sweet. So anyway, if you have an elementary school kid, you guys should get this before the school year starts up again, or when the school year starts. I mean, it takes place during school, so. Okay, I'm gonna run in and get my wallet, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have my wallet. Come on, Gate. You guys are probably like, why do you have that book with you as you drive around the car? Well, funny that you should ask. Because I have 3 books out that I've renewed about 100 times, and I owe $6.25 in the library, so I'm like, just take it back. Just take it back and get done with it. I'm not taking any more books out of the library until I've returned all of them. The other 2 are like writing books that I needed. So anyway, oh, that air feels so good. I was just gonna say, it's hot. The other thing I wanted to say on here really quick was, I was reading through, I have like, the comments you guys have been leaving me are like so nice, you guys, recently. I talk about the addiction and recovery stuff because it's just such a huge part of my life. But to see people respond to it the way that they do, or the way that you guys do, is just like, it's incredible to me. And it just, I don't know, to see somebody impacted, you know, because like, I don't need to hear people say, oh, your story is this, or your story is that, or, you know, whatever. I need people to say, thank you, like, that impacted me. Like, I need my story to serve some purpose, like, or other than just getting me sober, it didn't really affect or impact anybody else's life. Does that make sense? And I don't want anybody to have to go through what I went through. Okay, so like the comments lately, you guys have just been beautiful. Thank you. And I feel like the wolf pack is stronger than it's ever been. But the other thing I wanted to say was that several people have like questioned like if I'm sad, or, you know, they're like, oh, you seem sad lately, and blah, 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 whatever. And, you know, you should take some time off of social media, which you guys looking out for me and my, you know, mental health, just, I really appreciate that. I don't feel sad. I really don't. Like, people were like guessing what I was talking about last night. Okay, I wasn't like talking about anything specific. I was talking about like, so Tanya had a friend that passed away from a brain tumor like 2 years ago, okay? When she was, and I'm just using this as an example, but when she was going through that, like, I felt so strongly for Tanya, you know, that like I just wanted to be the best friend possible for her. So there, at times during the day, I did feel distracted, but if I had had my vlog up then, I wouldn't have got on here and said, you know, oh, my best friend Tanya is going through the situation where one of her very best friends is dying of a brain tumor, because that's not mine to tell. Does that make sense? It's just not my story to tell. And so, you know, I do have situations like that in my life, but I don't have anything right now that is directly affecting me. You know, I don't. We just got back from a wonderful vacation in Mexico, and things are, we had a marriage counseling session tonight that was phenomenal. I mean, he was like, you guys are getting along really well. We really didn't have anything to talk about, honestly, because we had such a fantastic weekend. And, you know, like, I'm excited about Booktubeathon that starts this weekend. I've been writing a lot more. I announced on my So-Called Healthy Life channel that I'm starting my diet tomorrow, which I'm excited about. I know, like, most of you are like, yeah, whatever. And I think I just said that in my last little episode piece. She's probably like, why are you back here again? So anyway, and but yeah, I don't want you guys to worry about me. And somebody else said, you know, if you need to take some time off of social media, I feel like you can do that. And I was like, which I really appreciate, but like, I'm not on social media that much anyway. And like, I'm really not. Like, I'm not like one of those people that's like on, this guy's looking at me like, why is he talking to that camera? But I'm not like somebody that's like on Twitter like 24 hours a day. I'm just not. Like, I flip through it every once in a while. But honestly, like, my Peter Likes Books Twitter is sometimes more interesting to me than my main one. Just because like on my main one, I follow like YouTubers and celebrities and some of you guys. But like what you guys tweet me back and forth like is what I always respond to. But I'm not somebody that's gonna retweet like, you know, something that Beyonce says. I mean, like, I'm just not really like impacted by that. I'm interested in it, but I'm not really like that impacted by it. But then like on my Peter Likes Books ones, it's definitely more interactive because the booktube community is a lot smaller. I don't know if that makes any sense what I'm saying at all. If you're on booktube, you'll know what I'm talking about. But other than that, like, Facebook, I rarely ever get on. Instagram, I post a picture, like, every other day. And I check my message. I mean, I do, like, every couple hours, you know, check the messages on stuff. But I don't, like, get that many messages. I really don't. Snapchat, I usually check twice a day. This guy has a briefcase that he carried in there. But I don't, you know, so... And I love the social media stuff. And oh, the making of the videos. Like, I literally get up in the morning, I do my meditations and make a cup of coffee, and while my coffee is being made, I upload. This is how long it takes. While I am while I am making a cup of coffee on my Keurig, before I get my Starbucks, I start uploading my vlog. By the time that I am done making that cup of coffee and I sit back down at the computer, they're already uploading. So it's like the easiest thing in the world to do. And then I usually sit there and I like drink a cup of coffee and I kind of like, you know, read some emails and stuff like that. And then make some phone calls that I have to make. But then, like, after that, I go and I usually, like, today I had to go to the bank, and then I went to Starbucks, or vice versa. No, I went to Starbucks, the bank, and then Starbucks. And then I had to, I think, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But anyway, and then I went to the post office, and I had, like, one other errand to run. I can't remember what it was. Costco, maybe. And then I come home, and like during that like half an hour that I'm gone is like, I'm like, okay, so what am I gonna do? My booktube videos. Oh, well, I'll do this tag video. And then like I'm like, oh, so what should I do about this and this and this? My so-called healthy life channel takes me 5 minutes to film that video. I mean, I literally sit there and just film on three in a row. That takes me 5 minutes to film. My booktube videos are usually 10 minutes long. My main channel is usually 15 minutes long. So that's half an hour worth of videos that I upload. It just doesn't take me that long, you guys. Like, and I know I'm not doing the kind of videos that other people are, but I'm doing videos that are similar to some people out there. And they're like, oh, it takes me 8 hours to post. Who? Why is it taking you 8 hours? That's ridiculous. You need to learn to multitask. I don't know. So it's just like, and like, I am so passionate about the making of the videos, but I'm not going to stop it. I've been thinking about posting more videos on BookTube like twice a day because I used to do that. I miss doing that. And yeah, so like, I don't know. I don't feel sad though, like not at all. I'm like super excited about stuff, and this is like the first summer in a long time, honestly, that I really feel like I have been doing like summer stuff. Like I've been sitting outside a lot and reading, and Tanya and I have been like driving around a lot, and Alex and I have really been doing a lot this summer. Like we've laid out by the pool a couple times actually. Like with last summer we didn't lay out at the pool once. Since the middle of July we've already laid out at the pool a couple times, and we've like gone to Mexico and gone to my nephew's baseball games and gone to his brother's baseball games and family cookouts. And I mean, it's been a good summer. Like I've had a really good summer. This summer won't end. And like, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but a lot of times summer, it's like the middle of August. And I'm like, oh my God, summer's almost over. And I haven't like done anything summery. I haven't enjoyed the summer. I won't feel like that this year. I will tell you one thing that's kind of weird to me is that like in May, which would have been when I was getting my passport. I was thinking about this because I can remember like driving to the post office to get that passport application. So it would have been like the end of May. I remember thinking, oh my God, Booktubeathon is so far away. Like I was so excited for it. I even said like in a Booktube video, I was like, why can't we just have Booktube right now? Or Booktubeathon right now? And I was like, oh my God, it's like the end of July. It's the last week of July. It's so far away. And now it's here. It's like this weekend, and I have so much shit to do between now and then. I have like 6 books to finish, and we're going to the 400 Brickyard 400 this weekend. They're having concerts outside Friday and Saturday night. We're going to that, and then we have something on Sunday too. I can't remember what the Sunday thing is that we have to do during the day. Because I was like, Booktubeathon starts Sunday night at midnight, and I'm going to be sitting on my front porch reading Booktubeathon. So, for Booktubeathon, I'm so excited, I can't wait. I'm so excited about Booktubeathon. You guys have no idea. Like, I am so excited. And I'm so excited that some of you are, like, joining along, because you guys have, like, told me and messaged me and stuff. I mean, it's like, it is so cool. Make sure you follow Booktubeathon on Twitter, okay? Because you have to see the sprints and the challenges. Go to their channel every day. They'll explain to you what you do. They put out challenges every day. Like, you have to do this. I'm so excited. Oh my God, I'm so excited. It is so nerdy, and I don't even care. It's just how much I love books and reading. But this has been a really good summer, like... I am somebody that gets very, very melancholy about, like, endings, like I was just talking about with, like, 5th grade, or, like, the ending of summer, or, like, but I don't feel like that this year. And I'm very hopeful about this whole healthy eating thing. Like, I'm very, in fitness, and I'm, like, I'm gonna dedicate, like, the next year. Like, and if I fall off, I get right back on the next day. None of this wait a week shit. And I'm very hopeful about it. And, so I have that to look forward to, which is exciting. So, if you want to follow that journey, don't stop believing, then go over and follow my channel, My So-Called Healthy Life. And when people say to me, oh, you're just doing this to make money, yes, absolutely. I think I made $16 off that channel last month, maybe. I love when people say, you're just putting these people in your videos for the views. I'm like, I made $3 off that video. You know, I mean, like, give me a break. If I wanted to make videos off of views, I would, like, do the craziest shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. Most of it's stuff that I would, like, never do. So I'm like, even if I wanted the views, I could. Listen, I'm just like, I don't feel like the old man of YouTube always. Sometimes I guess I do. But, you know, these kids have their youth on their side, okay? It's a hard racket to try to move up on YouTube at 45 years old. And let's just be for fucking real, okay? I haven't done too bad, I don't think. And, I mean, it's a tough game out there. Most of these kids either started 10 years ago on there and they have these phenomenal channels, or they're 21 right now, you know, and they're gorgeous and they're beautiful and they have great bodies. So did I when I was that age, you know what I mean? Give me a fucking break. You know, we're not all of us gonna be 20 forever. And, trust me, I know. And, you know, they post one video and it's like, my summer favorites. I was going to do that video the other day, my summer favorites, but I was going to make it real funny. My summer favorites. And they're sitting there shirtless. And they're like, my summer favorite is like coconut oil. And then they get like 100,000 views and 200,000 subs overnight. And I'm like, really? Let me spend 4 hours putting together a cheapo box. That's why I don't do it for the views, because the shit that I do for views doesn't get the views anyway that I love to do, like those things. But I do try to do some of that stuff every once in a while. And people keep on asking me why I haven't done magazine videos lately. And the reason I haven't done magazine videos lately is because my grocery store closed down here. And the other grocery store I can't stand. And then to go there, to just go in and get a magazine, and I always forget on my way home. That's really the truth about the magazine videos. It's no deeper than that, you know? And what else? The rant videos are fun, and sometimes I get real heated all of a sudden lately about stuff, and then I'm like, well, maybe you really are that pissed off about the world. I don't know. Are you? Who knows? So you guys want to know what we did tonight? This woman in here keeps on looking at me like, are you coming in or not, or what's going on? She knows me. I come in there every night. So we had our marriage counseling tonight, which it was so good. We had like such a great... I just cannot listen. I mean, I've said this on here before. I just cannot sing the praises high enough. That was true. If you watch my video today, right there was Drunk Jerry. Or yesterday's video. Drunk Jerry at 50. I just cannot sing the praises enough of marriage counseling. I mean, like, it is so helped us. Like, and he even said tonight, he's like, well, maybe you guys don't need to come in here as often. And I was like, okay. I mean, those are things that I used to do when I was in practice, you know, with like, but... God, that came out of nowhere. We just like I'm so emotional and Alex is so not emotional. It's really helped us kind of get on the same emotional page. And like now in those sessions, like he gets real emotional and I don't. Like this is like just talking about other stuff, you know, like family and whatever, and he'll get real emotional, and it's just been so good for us. And then like our counselor sits in there and like translates it between us, you know, and now we're doing new things, like, you know, laying in bed, like before Alex goes to bed, I lay there for half an hour and we just sit there and talk, you know. So it's really nice. And we haven't had like we could really get into a good argument at least once or twice a week over something stupid. Do you ever have those arguments where they start out like, you know, like the dog pooped on the carpet, why didn't you take him out for the last 2 hours while you've been sitting here watching Game of Thrones? Oh really, blah, blah, blah. And then before you know it, you're having this huge argument and you're like, how did this even start? And you forgot that it was about the poop on the carpet. And you stop having the argument and the argument starts having you. Okay, Alex and I used to be real good for that, like twice a week. We haven't been arguing as much lately, and when we start it, we it's not so much that we don't argue, it's that we know how to stop it when it's appropriate, you know, like we'll stop it and like he usually is the one that will say like, okay, what do you need to say that you need me to hear? And then I'll say, well, this is how I feel and whatever, and he'll go, okay, I hear you, no, let me tell you how I feel. Or I'll do that, you know? And so we're like listening to each other more. The argument may happen, it's just we shut it down quicker. And that is totally as a result of marriage counseling. And you know, for all these years when people always said like, communication's the key, communication's the key. I even said that as a marriage counselor. I'd say, well, communication's the key. You know, you have to learn how to communicate with one another. And then I would sometimes like sit at home and be like, well, how do I teach this? And other people do it. So anyway, but like we have learned, she's just like walking around with this box in there. She like keeps on like looking out, like what is he doing? But like we've really learned how to communicate with each other. It's like crazy, like the way that we do. Like we always got along and talked. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like not having like a blow up argument. I don't know. I'm proud of both of us. We've come quite a long way, you know. So anyway, we did that, and then afterwards, here's testament to how well our counseling session went. I was like, we were walking out, and I was like, do you want to get something to eat? He was like, yeah, babe, where do you want to go? And I was like, he was like, well, at church, okay, so on date nights, we don't do it this way, but like every meal we split. So like, I'll pay for one, he pays for the next, blah, blah, blah. We've always done that way. I don't know even where we started that. So anyway, I was like, well, let's go to Cheesecake Factory. Since it's my time, I'll pick. So we went to Cheesecake Factory, which is cheesy, but I don't care. I like Cheesecake Factory. And we sat outside, and Alex had the spaghetti and meatballs, and I had, which cracks me up always because it's spaghetti and it has these 3 huge meatballs on it that he just like cuts up into a million pieces. And then I had the chicken littles, which are Cajun, but they don't taste Cajun to me, chicken tenders, and 2 sides of fries. And I was like, said something, and I was like, we never get cheesecake here. I think I would really like to have a piece of cheesecake. And so we ended up getting a piece. We were gonna get tiramisu because that's what we both kind of agree on. But his favorite is always cookie dough, everything. And but I don't love it. And but the guy comes out and he goes, I'm really sorry to inform you that we're out of tiramisu. We never get cheesecake. I go, okay, just bring out the cookie dough. So Alex got his way. We split cookie dough cheesecake, and we sat there and laughed and were goofy with each other. It was so cute. And then we went home, and I'm like, at this point, like starting to get tired. I'm like, I should do a live stream and whatever. And we had talked about how we were gonna watch 47 Meters Down tonight. Or yeah, that movie, the shark movie. And so I said, well, what are we going to do when you get home, or when we get home? And he was like, well, I'm going to watch 47 Meters Down. I'll tell you what it's about if you don't want to watch it. And I was like, I said I'm going to watch that movie. He goes, you're scared to watch it. I go, well, yeah, but I want to see it. And he goes, okay, well, I'll watch it. He goes, it won't be that scary. He goes, if it's scary, we'll just turn it off. Well, I can't start a movie and not watch it, right? It really wasn't that bad. And what was really funny was Alex was more scared about it than I was. Now, somebody had just tweeted me out tonight. I don't know who you are. I apologize. But that she had watched it and her boyfriend was pissed, her husband, because she went and saw it because I had talked about it in the movie. It's really not that great, you guys, okay? We didn't pay for it, so, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't like, it was no Jaws caliber, but it wasn't bad. The sharks were scary as shit. There was lots of jump moments in it. But it was good. It was fun. And then he went to bed, and then I laid up there, and it was so funny because I like kept on turning over, and I go, I'm just gonna lay here for 5 minutes, and I'll decide if I'm gonna do my live stream. At that point, it was like 12:15. I was like, there's no way I'm doing a live stream now. I'm too tired, right? And he goes, are you gonna do your live stream? I said no, and I go, let's just lay here and talk for a little bit. And he was like so tired. He goes, babe, I just need to go to bed. And I said, okay. We sleep with a fan, so I turn over. And he goes, well, what do you want to talk about? I go, oh, I just thought we could talk about the movie or something like that. And he was so scared of the movie, you guys. He was like, I don't want to talk about that movie. And he goes, I don't know. He was like, I'm afraid I'm going to have nightmares. And I go, you're not going to have nightmares from that movie. He was like, I know, but I don't know how to get rid how to like think of something else. I was like, well, we could talk about nice things. So anyway, he didn't want to talk. So I'm like laying there, and then all of a sudden he pulls out his phone. He's like looking at funny memes on Instagram. I go, you are watching funny memes because you're terrified that you're going to have a nightmare. He goes, no, I'm not. I go, yes, you are. He goes, no, I'm not. And he goes, well, maybe just a little bit. It's so cute. Alex always wants to come across as so strong and confident, but he's not, you know, like it's so cute because I get to see that side of him that nobody else sees, you know, and that just very genuine side. He shows his family that side of him too, you know, that very like vulnerable, sweet Alex, and but I think, you know, he's working on that. We're all just a work in progress, aren't we? No, we're all just bags of shit. No. We had a good time tonight. It was fun. We've spent so much time together lately. I'm kind of getting sick of my joke. I'm totally joking. But we did. We spent Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday together. Last night, what did we do last night? He worked, and then what did he do after work? Oh, we came home, and then I was doing bills, and he sat down there and we talked for a long time. Yeah. And then he went to bed, and I went and got a fountain Coke with Tanya. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did I live stream last night? I live streamed last night. And then, that he went to bed. When he went to bed, I was live streaming last night. And then I went and got a fountain Coke with Tanya. And then tonight we went to counseling, and then we went to dinner, and then we watched the movie. And then tomorrow night I have a meeting, and then Thursday night we have plans. Friday night we have plans. Saturday night we have plans. Sunday we have some kind of plans, but I don't remember what they are. I mean, I'm spending too much time with my husband, don't you think? See what marriage counseling does? It forces you to spend all your time with this person. Don't do it. I'm joking. It's good. I'm really happy about it. So anyway. All right, you guys. I think that is it for today. If I were king of the forest. Can you guys guess that I wanted to be a star on Broadway when I was a little kid? Oh my God. True story. I actually wanted to play Annie. Shh. Okay, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.